So today I'm covering a little bit more about what I've been covering on this channel around how to hear your higher soul's guidance, how to hear your soul's guidance, how to start living a life of more joy and happiness, and start hearing the guidance that will guide you back to your highest timeline, to bring you more joy and happiness. That's what we're here to do, is to experience joy and experience being in a human body. But while we're here, we get hijacked by the systems. So my guides wanted me to share an example of how this happens to kind of give you a visual. I'm not an artist, so bear with me, okay? This is how they give it to me, very basic. Down here, this is somebody who's very unhappy, okay? Up here, we've got souls. We got two souls, right? We got someone very happy, very unhappy, and this person's connected to their soul. This person is not connected to their soul. They can't hear the guidance because that's from the time we come out of the womb, we are taught by our parents, who also were taught, but then we go into the education system, which is primarily created to disconnect us from our soul. Because if we can hear our soul's guidance, our higher self's guidance, God, Creator, Spirit's guidance, we would not be living, we would be living in much more harmony, love, and joy. But the powers that were, that control the globe, like a global pyramid, go check out my series on the collapse of the 4 pillars and the glue that holds it all together. That's been going on for thousands of years. The powers that were at the top of the globe, I call the global CEOs, they know that we're souls in a human body. They're very spiritual in a dark way. They understand spiritual concepts. They understand universal laws. And so they have learned how to hijack the system in order to hijack us and disconnect us from our higher self's guidance. Because if we're connected to our higher self's guidance, we will unplug from the systems, and the systems that aren't serving us will fall. Because there's a very small group of people that are controlling the masses around the globe with these systems. Go check out those videos. But what they showed me, how my guide showed this to me, is that our belief systems is what allows us to be hijacked. Okay, so belief systems like, who am I? What am I supposed to be doing, right? Which we learn in school and through religion and through the media and through Hollywood, what we're supposed to be doing in order to support the systems and structures that support the people at the top of the globe and not us, okay? The man-meds system, I have to be careful what I say here because those videos were taken down that I did. Anything on the meds systems gets taken down. You know, anytime we're sick, our bodies are very intelligent. Our bodies are designed by God, the Creator, Spirit Source. Our bodies are designed to tell us when there's something off, to tell us when we need to be redirecting ourselves, right? So there are other areas around the globe, like Chinese medicine, for instance, and there's tribes and things like that, that still practice these things. They know that when there's a certain ailment of the body, it means something specifically. For instance, I believe I read this recently, that if you have challenges with your kidneys, it's directly related to fear. You're operating in too much fear. There's too much fear in your life. Time to remove yourself from fear. But the man-meds system, you go with an issue in your body, and they give you medicine to mask the symptom that doesn't address the cure, because in order to cure that, you have to make changes in your life. And once you start making changes in your life, you can start hearing your higher self, and you start unplugging from the system. This is all designed to hijack our belief systems, okay? Screens. Screens are everywhere now. Phones, computers, tablets, TV, movie screens. The more attention we are sending out externally, the less we're connecting inward and connecting to our higher self, which has our guidance. They know this. This is why they're so addicting. Religion, create and control us. Go check out my videos on this. It's collapse of this 4 pillars. Religion is one of the glues that holds us together to keep us in line. Okay. We have to look to someone on the pulpit. We have to look to someone externally to tell us how to live our life. They're the ones who dictate what the Bible means or what it doesn't mean. Okay. Again, go check out my video on this. Political structures, excuse me, race or gender. Is there one race or gender that's better than another? All of these things hijack who we really are and what we're really doing here. All of this and more creates the feelings of fear, anxiety, worry, anger, distraction, and disconnection. When we're operating from one of these places, we're literally, my guide showed me, that is literally what disconnects us from our higher self. That connects us from our soul, disconnects us from our higher guidance. Okay, we have to get out of fear, anxiety, worry, and going to the doctor and getting a pill. I'm not a medical doctor. Go do your own research. This is just what I've channeled. This triggers you can move on. Do your own research. Come up with your own beliefs. Okay, for a disclaimer, for social media purposes. But When you go to the doctor, if you're having these symptoms, you're going to get a pill. Most likely, you're going to get a pill, right? To mask the symptom, because the symptom is telling you there's something wrong. We've just never been taught that our bodies are intelligent machines that tell us when we're off track or on track of our highest timeline, of a life that's going to serve us, okay? So we have to start making, if you're experiencing any of these feelings, you have to start looking at, what do you believe? How are you living your life? And make changes that will bring you more joy and happiness, okay? Over here, we've got someone who is living in their sovereignty, right? They're not looking for someone externally in religion, in the media, in Hollywood, in political structures, right? They're not looking to someone externally to tell them how to live their life. All of that was created purposely to tell us how to live, to support the global pyramid. They're living in joy and happiness. You know, they have a job that brings them joy. They love what they do. They're surrounding themselves with people that are supportive. They are using their natural and innate talents and gifts versus being a cog in the machine for somebody at the top to make all the money from your work, right? They're out in nature. Literally, nature is medicine, they said. Looking at the sun, being in the sun, in the trees, right? Out in nature, listening to the birds. They're in supportive, loving relationships, as partnerships and friendships and family, okay? We choose our family before we come in order to help us learn certain lessons. If you're not being treated with you know, the way that will bring you love and joy and happiness so that you can then perpetuate that out, it's time to set boundaries. Living with organic foods, eating healthy, not eating fast food that's literally made from chemicals and tortured animals, and you know, not and people in hazmat suits have to wear, and people have to wear hazmat suits in order to treat the food so that you can eat it. Like, do research. It's really wild. They're exercising, they're moving their body. Maybe they're doing yoga, maybe they're doing tai chi, maybe they're running, maybe they're walking in nature. That literally gets our systems going. Go research, you know, alternative, like Chinese medicine, tai chi, and see where this comes from. It literally charges us, okay, and connects you to your soul. They're doing hobbies that bring them joy. They're serving others. They're not living in fear of, oh, you know, I got to keep it all for myself, right? They're serving their neighbors. They're helping other people. It's wild. I got to say, caveat, I'm getting reminded. I've been out, you know, when I go, it's so crazy to see. I have seen, you know, people struggling to lift groceries or slipping, and people walking by them, seeing, and just keep on walking. People living in their own world. This is about me. It's all about me. It literally blows my mind when I see people witness somebody needing help and literally walking by them, right? Because they're asleep.